Hey guys, Sean Bougie. I decided to drop in here right on time. Looks like we've got a lot of people just starting to show up. A couple of things I need to mention right out of the gate. One of them is please use the chat section, not the Q&A section. I know I've said this before, it's counterintuitive, but use the chat section. You will not be able to see other people's comments. We're using the private version of this. Hold on a second. This is my second announcement. You will not be able to see the questions from other people right away, or rather in that section, because it's private. This helps the bandwidth. That the webinar system that we use works a lot better when we do it with private questions. I will identify you by name when I'm answering your question, so I'll make sure they take care of that. And this is the second thing I need to tell folks. Hazel is the newest addition. We lost one of our babies, one of our puppies. Lost one of our puppies to a rabies vaccination reaction. So as a result, we weren't going to do it right away, but we decided to. We got a new little puppy, and we're going to, anyway, she's a little crazy, and she's bugging the heck out of Bella, my 6-year-old. So I may have to, unfortunately, stop and go with this. If you guys could use the chat section, please, not the question and answer. And hey, Philippe says, good evening. Just let me know you guys can hear and see me okay. Then I've got some brief, and Cheryl says, all good from here. That's great. Then I've got some brief announcements. So I'll turn off the chat for a minute, go through the announcements that we've got, and then come back to the open chat format, the open question and answer format that we normally have. And just wait for a quick little, let me know. There's a slight delay, guys, between when I'm speaking and when guys typically get the message. It's about a minute and a half. So, I mean, I don't have a button to erase what I've said, unfortunately. Philippe says, yes, I can hear you, Freddie. Yeah, we can hear you, Sean. That's great. Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to turn the chat off. So if you guys want to start with questions, you can. What I will do is quick announcements, though. I appreciate all the check-ins. You know, a lot of you guys realize we're in North Carolina, and the news, obviously, with the storm that came through the mountain area, Western North Carolina, people were checking in on me, and I really appreciate that. I was kind of surprised. It threw me off a little bit. And here we go, Michael. I hope you go through Hurricane Helene. Okay. Yeah, we did good, Freddie. Hey, we can hear you. Neil says, hi, Coach. Thank you, Neil. Again, please use comments, not the question and answer section. But I really appreciate the check-ins, and this is an opportunity too to let you guys know how we're operating with this. Many of you know that I'm Sean. Jeff is my business partner, and he gets the business if something happens to me. So I want everybody to know, because I've gotten that question. I've gotten the question, hey, what happens if something happens to you? I'm not old, but I'm not young either. Well, we have a succession plan in place. I have somebody that handles my will, family member, and the business is included in that succession plan. It would go to Jeff seamlessly. Another thing is that our social media accounts are all, well, I think most of them, if not all of them, are handled by Jeff and I both, and we both have access to it. So there's a multi-user component there, where if there had been an issue with us through the hurricane, we certainly would have let you guys know. One of us would have been able to, you know. Jeff's in an area a little further out than me. Philippe says, I'm in Winston-Salem. That's great. James, you've been a help to many people. Of course, they will check on you. I appreciate that, James. Any all questions, guys, is great. Yeah, thank you, Carol. She's cute. She's just a handful. Any and all questions is great, guys. As I'm going through this, there's a few things I wanted to bring up again with folks that have listened into us, and folks that have seen our sorry, I'm having a hard time doing two things at once here. Our YouTube channel, Surplus Funds Rich, is all one word. A lot of stuff has been on there over the years. A couple thousand videos are uploaded, a lot of content. And one of the things that I brought up are some things that you guys need to realize if you're really, especially if you're doing this on your own and you're trying to maximize your return and make the most deals possible work. There's a couple things to consider with that. One is you definitely have to check the deed. You have to see who the last owners were prior to the sale, because particularly in the tax overage arena, what will happen is they will list the wrong person because the tax rolls don't update as fast as they need to, and they'll use old information. Meanwhile, the owner has quit claimed the property to somebody else, and that person is not the claimant. So it's very important that you guys know you have to check the deed to make sure you have the right owner. Also, oftentimes the tax sale department in particular, well, sometimes mortgage overages as well, the attorneys for the mortgage overage or the county, sometimes they'll list one person on the surplus funds list when it was actually two owners. So you need to check that deed, because they're just taking a shortcut and just putting one owner on there. Sorry, I'm gonna let these girls play a little bit. But anyway, you've got to check the deed. The other thing is the type of deed or the type of property ownership mentioned in the deed is going to make a big difference. If, for instance, there's two people on the deed and it was a joint tenants with rights of survivorship deed, it says that on it. Or if it was a tenancy in common, if one of the owners died prior to the foreclosure, their interest transferred automatically to the other owner. You still have to, you're going to have to provide a death certificate probably, but you can make the full 100% retrieval for the person that's still alive, the surviving person on the deed. Sorry, guys. I'll get these guys handled next time. That's important to know. There's a couple other tricks and tips that I want to share with you guys. I'm sorry, I'm so having a hard time concentrating with these guys in the background. But there's some things that you need to know about the business. And another issue is if you can't get a hold of somebody or if there was too much debt, and that's very important. You need to check debt against the property. And we get this even from our members when we train, hey, you got to research debt, because if there was an additional mortgage or home equity loan or something like that against the property at the time of the sale, that creditor is entitled to their portion of the surplus funds in front of the owner. And oftentimes they will eat the entire surplus funds. People go, well, the tax sale kicked out everybody's interest or whatever it is. That they kicked out everybody's interest behind them in the property. You're right. They kicked out the interest of that individual. All those creditors got kicked. They no longer have a claim to a lien on that home or throw a mortgage on that home. It's still debt, okay? And it still has a priority claim to the surplus funds. So you have to know it's there, or else you're going to waste your time going after people that are not entitled to it, okay? Now, let's say there is too much debt, or the people died, or they don't want to talk to you, and you can't find heirs, all that. One of the things you can do, it's called a surplus hybrid program, is look and see if the people went into bankruptcy 2 years before the foreclosure up to 2 years after. If they did, you can contact the bankruptcy court. This is all in that program, and let them know about that, and they will typically pay you a usually 25, but sometimes 20 to 25% referral just for telling them where the money is. It's not their money. They don't care. There are no finder caps in the federal arena, and they're happy to do it. Steven says, not sure if anyone else is having sound issues, but the sound is out for me and sounds like interference somewhere. Dorothy Boyce. I'm trying to use just first names, but there's probably, most names there's 100 of those people. I skip trace. Part of what I do for a living is skip trace. Dorothy, earlier this year, I requested and obtained several lists for more than 20 states. I never submitted deals for the 50/50 program. So can I use these lists or resubmit a request? So Dorothy, if you guys check from your initial PDF, your ebook, there is a link to a resources page with submission rules on it. So you'll know, thank you, James, for letting me know you have no sound issues. So you will know, okay, from that resources page, you'll have a good idea of what's okay and not okay to send into us. On the 50/50, you're contacting them yourself. But there are submission guidelines for that, and they're designed to help us both, guys. Sometimes people go, hey man, I can't believe it. I'm not allowed to use a list unless I verify funds if it's over X amount of months. That's kind of silly. No, it's not, because what's going to happen after you turn it in, this is why we have these submission rules, is we're going to spend a lot of money mailing and calling them, okay? And then if we do get them under contract, We're going to get them to not only sign the contract to a mobile notary, we're also going to handle the FedEx return label on that, and we're going to start the attorney up on it. So we're going to have some money invested in this. So we want to maximize the results for you guys and us. I know this is shocking. I know this is shocking, but people will lie. People will lie about making that they haven't made a claim or they don't know anything about it or whatever. So it's important that we do that. Of course, the attorneys double check everything once we turn it over to them. Pete, sounds good, but my link didn't work. Had to go on the website to get the link. We'll catch what I missed on the replay. Okay, Pete. Sorry about that, buddy. I don't know why it didn't work for you. Also, guys, there's a webinar handout. Please, 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 please download that when you get an opportunity. That is an overview, especially for those of you guys who haven't started up yet. That's an overview. Big announcement too. We will be having a real quick flash sale because we're going to probably start pulling down all the programs for a while. A lot of you guys know, since we partner, we limit the number of programs that we sell on a monthly and quarterly basis, and we're nearing that. So we're probably going to have well, I know we're going to have a flash sale starting up pretty soon. We're going to send an email and a text out to folks. If you don't receive that, you can reach out to me on the contact me page on our website or link on our website, contact us, and I'd be happy to send that to you. But that's just going to be for this weekend, starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. through 10 p.m. on Sunday. Sending out both emails and texts. Both those will hit tomorrow afternoon. So please give it time before you get up with me. Give me that link. But that's important to know that we're having that, and we're going to be watching this very, very closely on how many people we allow to buy over the next couple of months. You guys also know we always shut everything down in December. Just gives the crew a break for training new people. We continue to work. Obviously, when I say shut down, that's we don't take on new members. That does not mean we won't work files that are turned in during that time. We're still open and in business. We're just not taking on new members. Okay, good. No more Q&A used. All right, guys. Any and all questions are very welcome. One of the things I want to bring up too is, a lot of you guys have followed us for a long time. You know that we started taking estate or probate files. We didn't used to take that. We didn't want to get involved with that. But we opened up. We have a second central attorney that deals a lot with that in different states. So we decided to open that up. Unfortunately, what has happened as a result is people have started to try to find out if the people have died before they turn it into us. If the people have died, who the heirs are. They're trying to do all this homework in the background. Please stop doing that. Okay, don't do it. Just turn in the file. If the people are dead, we're still going to work it. We're going to look up the heirs. We have much better tools than most of the guys out there. Okay. We're talking about Ancestry.com. We're talking about all of our different skip tracing systems. We're talking about we mail already to possible relatives and associates. Please don't try to figure out who the heirs are. We can't trust what you did anyway. No offense. We've got to do this ourselves. All you're doing is causing yourself more work. I know it sounds silly for me to say it, but please don't do more work than we ask you to do. It's not helping us. Okay? And we can't trust it. So when people say, oh, this guy died, I'm pretty sure these are the relatives. Here's this, here's that. We can't trust that guy, so you're not helping us out. All you're doing is cramming more stuff into the file. Just send it in. We'll figure it out from there. Let us handle that. Not making fun of anybody. Just let us handle that. That's our job to do. Thank you so much, says Dorothy. Yeah, Dorothy, double check. Again, double check the submission rules, because you may have to double check whether or not those monies are being held, or go back and get a more updated list. It's very important that you follow those rules. Angela, hi, Sean. How is the process of research done when we partner with you? What is expected of us to do? Great question. So we have two main programs for sale on the page. They're actually bundled together right now on the sales page. I don't even think you're going to be able to find that. I doubt it anyway, that you're going to be able to find that during the sale. But the National Surplus Funds Program, both these programs teach you how to do it on your own, okay? Completely without us. But the National Surplus Funds Program, sorry, that sounds crazy, but I actually get quite a bit of telemarketers calling me. National Surplus Funds Program gives you the option where your job is to get your own list. We teach you how to do that. It's not hard. Take that list, research the debt against the property using the Register of Deeds online. And by the way, there's a full 1 hour plus video training on our main site, surplusfundsriches.net. Go there, watch that video. This will break it all down for you. But with the National Surplus Funds Program, Your job is to get your own list, research the debt, make sure there wasn't additional debt on the property that would eat all the surplus. Fill out a worksheet with that information, provide some supporting docs, everything you can get online, pretty much. Well, it is stuff you get online. Submit that to us, and we do the rest. Now, we have an active files list that you have access to. So you can open up that list. It's updated every day, Monday through Friday. You can open up that list, and the first thing you do before you research anything is take the names off the list you got, take those names, and search our list to make sure we don't already have them. We don't have an issue with saturation, but it's nice that we can put that up front so you don't waste time researching something that somebody's already turned into us, right? Plus, you don't turn something in and we go, sorry, we already had that one. And you go, oh, okay. And then in the back of your mind, you're going, did Sean just take that deal from me? So that kind of eliminated that. But the national, your job, and this, we pay you 8% of the gross amount being held by the court, of the gross. If there's 50 grand in surplus funds, you're going to get 4 grand on that deal when we get it out of the court. Okay. That's just for getting a list and researching debt. The Premier 16 pays you 16% of gross, but higher percentage, more work. And the more work is, you're going to have to skip trace and find them, right? Do a people search, find them, call them, mail them, put the deal, and not put the deal together, but make sure that they're at least willing to speak with us, and then you'll turn it into us. So it depends on where you want to start with that. This is my old lady. She's upset because the other one got out of the fence because she's tiny. All right. Hi, Sean. This is a good question. If you had to say what percentage of your surplus students send in leads versus working them on their own. So, Jordan, I think it's probably a split. I really do. Now, keep in mind, the way we teach you to work surplus funds is we tell you always use an attorney, okay? Because that's going to get you around a lot of the issues, and it's going to give you a lot of credibility. It's going to get where you're not going to have to jump through as many hoops because your attorney is going to do that for you, right? The other thing is we teach you to use a structured buyout. We actually give the claimants 10% of the gross amount being held by the court as good faith money up front, and a substantial amount more, usually another 50 to 60% of the retrieval when we get it out of the court. That's how we teach it. So a lot of people like starting with us and put some money in their pocket first, and then they'll go out and start doing their own deals. I respect the heck out of that. I've had people decide to do that and then come back for a little bit, or they'll say, hey, I've got these 3 deals, these 3 people that are ready to go, but I don't have the bandwidth. I can't handle this right now. So, are you up for that? I'll just submit it the way you're normally allowed to submit it through the system, and we'll take it from there. We're absolutely good with that, So yeah, I would say it's about a 50-50 split. James, limited on funds, what could be the minimum amount I would have to invest to become only a researcher sending in files? $597, James. That's on surplusfundsriches.net, $597. That's not even going to defray the cost that I incur for giving you guys email-based support, the live webinars, and of course, we doing the mailings and calls and all that, and entering your information into our database and updating that. But $597, get you started. I do understand that you have standards on how to send in the files, and I'm willing to abide by it to the T. That's great. Main thing, guys, with our programs, there's 2 main things. Read them. It's a PDF. Best way to learn is reading. Read it twice for comprehension. At the end is a file example. Do that file example. Jeff put that together. Take that name. Go to the Register of Deeds like he did. Put that name in. Search. See what he saw. It's in there. There's screenshots. Match it, and you'll go, wow, I get it. Okay. Then you can also click the link and go to the resources page where there's additional video training and information for submissions and that type of thing. But that's the main thing. Read. People have no ability to focus on anything for more than 10 seconds now. But I can tell you right now, if you look online, you'll see that the reading is huge for learning a new skill set. That's why you read in college. That's why you read even on online courses. It's reading. That's what has the biggest impact on your learning curve. Okay. Rachel, I could watch the cute puppies all night. Good, Rachel, because they're driving me crazy. Dorothy, hi, Sean. Have you ever thought of having a good quarter-day in-house training on your programs? Yeah, we batted that around, Dorothy. I actually had some guys come after me from Indiana wanting to partner up with us, and they said we want to do this thing where you do late night television ads and all this crazy stuff, and then maybe we'll get you on the circuit and do all that. First of all, Jeff and I are homebodies. Okay, we really like the fact that we've got a home base and that we're not traveling all the time. I like traveling, but to exotic locations to have fun, you know, not traveling for work. And we also looked at it, and it would be ridiculously expensive to you guys if we did it in person. It would be ridiculously expensive because we don't want to do it. Plus, it's not necessary. Read the book twice for comprehension. All right. Do the example. It's not an intricate, difficult business. You just have to take direction, take your time. You're learning a new skill set versus it's going to take you longer to put a deal together, or rather a file together for us if you want to partner with us. It's going to take you longer because you're learning a new skill set. However, you're going to get a lot faster. Sorry. You're going to get a lot faster as you go. Once you learn it, you'll learn it. So it won't be an issue for you. Okay. But the one-on-one, yeah, that would be, that's ridiculously expensive. What we'd have to charge you guys to do that. I don't get any of the, Angela, I don't get any of the lists. Where do I get it from? We teach you that, Angela. Did you read the book that you got? If you didn't get it, we teach you how to do that. You can get online lists, mortgage and tax overages. We work both. You can get online lists. You can request. We teach you how to request. And those can be better too, because a lot of people are afraid to call the court or whoever's holding the funds, the department. They're afraid to call them because they think they're going to get like arrested for answering a question. It's kind of silly. It's all public record stuff, guys. But you can also request them. You can even buy lists. Tax sale results, I think, is one of the sources we tell you can use. Sorry, let me pull these puppies up here. Hope they don't kill each other. So yeah, Angela, the ebook goes into that. Plus, I got to be honest with you. Go to the site if you haven't come on board yet. It's a really good introduction, free 1-hour training video. Surplusfundsriches.net. You'll see the link for free training. Go there, watch that. That'll take you through step by step. And I think I even go into that. Now, obviously, I don't go into contracts and scripts and stuff like that. That's reserved for our members. And obviously, you can't partner with us right out of the chute. Ooh. When submitting leads to your team, this is Jordan, is there a required minimum? Yeah, there's required minimums. It's different by program. I believe it's anywhere from 20 to 35,000 as a minimum turn in, depending on the program. Do you have any updates? Upcoming video on the deals board for this month. I just did one a couple weeks ago, Cheryl, wanting to reinvest in one of the programs before they were taken down for the year. No, I'm going to reinvest in one of the programs before they're taken down. I don't understand. If you bought the program, you own it. You can't share it or distribute it or sell it, but you own it. So I've got more files ready to turn in, just waiting on the sheriff's team. Thanks so much for all you did. You got it, Cheryl. Angela, what is the best skip tracing system with CRM out there that is refurbished? So we use separate systems for that, Angela. Skip tracing, there's 3 that we recommend in the ebook. IDI data is fantastic. Used to recommend TLO or TLO XP quite a bit, but they've gotten really difficult to work with. They're not allowing people to come on board. They're trying to limit it dramatically to PIs and attorneys. But IDIdata.com, I believe that's what it's called, but it's IDI data. You'll be able to Google search. Google is your friend. IDI data, Microbilt, MICROBILT. Microbilt's interesting because it's really good at possible relatives and associates. Not as good as IDI at finding the information for the actual claimant. But Microbilt, there's something about the way that they set that stuff up that makes it really interesting and really good at finding possible relatives and associates. We found that we got a lot of success from that. The other thing with Microbilt is if you call and talk to Randy Mosteller at Microbilt, Micro, B-I-L-T, there's no U in it, microbilt.com. Give that number a call, and you can go ahead and get in touch with Randy Mosteller. When you do, tell him Sean Bougie or the results team or Greater Good Company, whatever, depending on if it's an educational company or a skip tracing company. Tell him we sent you to him, and he'll give you a really good deal. And he's fantastic. The other one is White Pages Premium. I'm surprised at how incredibly accurate they are.
but believe it or not, they are, especially with the reverse lookup by address. Carol, in researching a mortgage foreclosure, I came across a certificate of sale, front-paid municipal liens. It was purchased by an outside party and the house foreclosed. I didn't find another deed on this lien buyer. Could you elaborate this as to who is the owner of the property? Would this now become the owner due to the mortgage, due to the overage? Thank you so much. I'm going to make this simple, Carol. Who is the deed holder at the time of the sale? Did somebody else, did it get transferred by a deed to someone else prior to the foreclosure? If so, the last deed holder prior to the sale is the claimant. Okay. Michael Chidra, Sean, I have a surplus list and some do not have a case number. Can I still work these? So Michael, we tell you right on the worksheet that if you don't have a case number on there, what you can use in its stead, it's right, it's literally underneath where it says case or file number. It says, hey, if you don't have it, this is what you can use. Philippe, will the panning program work for North Carolina surplus? Yes, it will. Jeff, Angela, you can purchase lists here. Yeah, surplusfundslists.com. Go there. Jeff put these together. These are fresh, real lists, straight from the source. It's pretty darn cheap, maybe 39 bucks for 60, 62 lists, something like that. Check it out. It's surplusfundslists.com. Also, if someone wants to work overages nationwide with all of your strategies, which of your programs would you recommend? Hey, Jordan, both of them work, mortgage and tax, national or P16, Premier 16. If you can afford the diamond, I mean, it's extremely expensive, but it's got the panning program in it, which teaches you how to build your own lists. In those states where you can't get mortgage overage lists because the attorney's handling it, handling the sale, will not give you a list. That's a phenomenal program, but that's in the diamond. That's very expensive. But you can get the national surplus and the Premier 16 bundled together for, I think, $647 right now. That's a crazy good deal, and that's not going to last. Jeff says you can also research getting lists on your own. You certainly can. Stephen, we teach you how to do it. We teach you how to get lists online. Stephen, hi, Sean. My mailing address has changed. Do I need to fill out another independent subcontract agreement? Great question, Stephen. Guys, if you have a change of address or email or something like that, you've already come on board and you've submitted files to us and you want to refill out your independent contractor agreement, go ahead and do that to update it. That would be great. It's right off the links, right off your resources page. Sherry, I submitted 6 files last December and January this year. I haven't bothered you monthly about payouts. I waited 4 months before I sent a support message on what's happening in my files. I waited on purpose so I wouldn't be dismissed, but that's what happened anyway. Actually, I remember the conversation, Sherry, and I'm glad we're having this. I'm actually bringing this up right now. No, that's not what we told you. She says, I was simply told that I didn't have that many to worry about, and you would let me know when you have information. Absolutely untrue, Sherry. I'm going to go ahead and say what our response was, though. I hear several of the same people receiving payouts all the time. Yeah, here's the thing. Those of you guys that are in the program, when you see those names, Brad, Pete, do me a favor, Sherry. When you see Brad, when you see Pete, Marisol, Rachel, Yuri, when you see those names get payouts all the time, do me a favor. Go onto the resources page, click on the link that gets you to the actively worked files list that we give you access to so you know what we're working on, and plug that researcher name in. See how many files they've turned in. 6 files is probably not going to get you paid. You're going to have to turn in more than that. And it's been since December. You've got to keep your pipeline full. Now, look, guys, I'm going to be honest. I've had somebody where they turned in 5 and I paid out on 3. Okay. I've had somebody turn in 3 and get paid out on 1. That's a fluke. I can count on 2 hands in 15 years of training and partnering with people. 15 years. Okay. I can count on 2 hands the number of people that have gotten paid out on less than 20 files. You're going to have anywhere from 15 to 25% of the people dying and not being able to, people die alone all the time, and we won't be able to get relatives. You got people moving out of the country, and when they do, there is no good skip tracing system for that other country. You have folks that simply are unreachable. They've fallen off the grid. They're gone. They're living in their car, and they're going to be like that for a year. We hit them twice with their skip tracing, but these are things that happen. You're going to have some people that are not going to call you back. or respond to mailings because they don't believe you. They don't believe anybody. Okay. We have people that don't believe that their house got foreclosed on. And we're like, you need to pack your stuff. We've got the deed transferring it at sale. It's coming. Trust us, you got foreclosed on. And yes, you did get notification. But a lot of that happens. And you get people that sometimes, hey, sometimes somebody will beat it, even though we get the file in and it gets through underwriting that day or the next day, whenever, it's immediately put into our CRM system, our database, and we immediately mail them a call. And we still get beat occasionally, or people try to make the claim on their own. So 6 is not a good number to assume that you're going to get paid. It's just not. And that's what we told you before. Philippe, yes, panning is great. Is great for working in North Carolina. This is Jeff responding. Freddie, how often are the lists updated, and is there a monthly subscription option? Freddie, why would we? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't understand your question. That's up to Jeff. I don't know how often he's going to update those lists. I do think if he hasn't already, he's going to make a note of when the last list was updated, so you guys won't purchase it twice, right? The same group. I have no idea how often Jeff's going to do that, guys. This is kind of a side thing that we're doing just to help people out, and give lists out, or sell lists, I should say, where we know they're good. People aren't wasting their time. So I have no idea, Freddie. Maybe Jeff will answer that. Cheryl, hey Sean, the last deals board has a deal you're working on for me. Just want to know if there was any progress in the case. I'm interested in buying a program of funds for my commission. I saw the deals board, so you must be interested in buying another one. Okay, deals board video in September. Sorry for confusion. Thanks. Hey, no problem, Cheryl. I'll try to get another one up as soon as I can. Here's how we contact guys. When we get under contract, we let you know. We let you know at that point. We will also let you know when we've sent out good faith and we know that it's going to work out. And that can take a week because we're going to have the attorney double check debt. The attorney's going to double check there aren't any other forms we need to turn in. We actually try to wait till the attorney says we're good to go. We're making the claim. At that point, now we're also going to contact you when we know we're a week or two out from receiving the check. And then after that, we'll also contact you and receive it to make sure we have all the information correct still. So that's how we contact you. We don't I'm sorry, but we don't update you as we go more than that, just because we're trying to work all the files that we can quickly and efficiently. Steven says, yeah, Jeff agrees with this, Steven, fill out a new form. Angela, which are the best states to work surplus funds, tax overages, and mortgage overages? So Angela, the simple answer is the panning system, which is in the diamond, that's about 22 states where it's mortgage overages, where you cannot get a list. So that's been our highest converting as far as mortgage overages. That's in the diamond bundle. But I've done several videos on our YouTube channel, Surplus Funds Riches, all one word, several videos on there that talk about what the ins and outs of each state's. Go to our channel, go to YouTube, look up Surplus Funds Riches, all one word, and you should be able to search it. Search our channel, just put in states, and we'll give you a lot of information. Jeff, current lists have been updated end of August, and he's going to run new lists soon. That's awesome. All right, guys, I think Jeff has shut down chat. Man, great questions here tonight. I appreciate everybody coming out. And thanks again, guys, for checking in, because North Carolina was having a hard time. We're here. Warm my heart. I appreciate it. And I appreciate, by the way, you guys putting up with my puppies going crazy right now. And I hope you have a great night.